matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome to ATN Open Conversation. Every word, it's time to have the Open Conversation, which is the network flagship political platform through which trending political news, events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Now, through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to our society. Our first point of call today is a ministerial nomination. President Tinubu will not regret nominating me into his cabinet. This is coming from Yeson Wike. On 10th anniversary, APC was imperative child to pull Nigeria from brink. This is coming from Felix Moka, the party spokesperson. And three others have pulled, saying we are not part of this. Our resource person is on the show. He is Frank Ene Awaji Ogononu. And he said he's not a socio-political analyst, and we'll have Joshua Triumphant. He's with us as a public affairs analyst. We'll be back to you shortly.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Alright, welcome to ATN Open Conversation, everyone. But before we get on, let me quickly welcome our guest on the show this morning. We have Mr. Frank Ene Awaji Ogononu. Good to have you on ATN Open Conversation, Mr. Frank.
Thank you. Good morning.
And then we have Joshua Triumphant. Good to have you here this morning, Joshua.
Good to be here. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, gentlemen, let's get on the road. The former governor of Rivers State, Yeson Wike, says President Bola Tinubu will not regret nominating him as a minister in his cabinet. The former governor, Wike, while fielding questions at the National Assembly during the ministerial screening on Monday, said, "I thank Mr. President, give him that required support. And I can assure you that if I am confirmed, he will never in whatsoever capacity regret nominating me." Wike, who reeled out his resume, added that his passion for Nigeria propelled him to accept the ministerial offer. All right. Let me start with you, Joshua Triumphant. The former governor of Rivers State during the campaigns was fighting to become the president of Nigeria to get the PDP ticket. After some time, that didn't work, and then we start hearing South-South. The power must return to South-South. We must get it for South-South. the battle for South-South began. And that literally brought the PDP to a large extent to its knees. This is in the midst of election. And then from there on, you move on to him pursuing the Tinubu agenda, what a lot of people classified as anti-party activities. And from there on, elections were done and dusted. Tinubu came in here, acknowledged the role that Governor Wike then played to see to his victory in Rivers State, somewhat, if you may, even though a lot of Nigerians that agree that that was a natural election and the person who actually won didn't get the results. But that's also by the way, but we saw that play out in Rivers State, and then at the request of some sort, the now president, then president-elect said, if you want something, come lobby me. I just came to say thank you for your support, but if you want something, come lobby me. Well, it's time to want something, everyone, because after his inauguration, he had to go to former governor of Rivers State has been in Abuja, and the rumor mill said he's been lobbying, and now he has been nominated as one of the ministerial nominees for the president's administration or executive council. But here is it now. Governor Wike is saying Tinubu will not regret in any capacity for nominating him as a minister. I'm done. Let's have your take, Joshua.
Well, you know, I say it almost every time I come on air here. I always say that I take everything career politician says, I take it with a pinch of salt all the time. This is a person who is just a few weeks ago was shouting into the microphone saying that he will never take a ministerial position. He will never. It's not in his mind. It's not in his thinking. And this is a person who is now saying that the president will not regret nominating him. So to me, most of what this is just a lot of just political grandstanding, and then a lot of all of that is just part of how you just say what you want people to hear, and then just let time pass, and then none of this is really, to me, meaningful in any sense. All right, did the Senate actually do any real screening? Did they really ask any critical question? And the fact that this is also what we are discussing is also part of all, so Wike is having a field day. The former governor of Rivers State is having a very field day in the new political landscape, and I mean, hopefully, I don't want it to be that it is.
Or is there something else we're looking at that may seem to be about to play out? What is this? You've been made a minister for Nigeria to serve Nigerians, and you're talking about pleasing the president. I mean, that conversation is.
Former governor of Rivers State, Jason Wike had secret agenda agreement. Whatever we are seeing outside is just a kind of let us hear. I'm not comfortable that Tinubu is giving Wike a ministerial appointment. For now, we don't know the portfolio. In Nigeria, we have what we call juicy portfolio and non-juicy portfolio. And by virtue of what we are seeing today, he will be giving also juicy portfolio, which in a way, some people will be doubting. Can this man stand for the party? And for me, this is about Tinubu personal interest, not about Nigerian interest, not even about his party interest. It's about his own personal interest, and he has got it. And that is why also former Governor Wike has come out to say, you will not regret, because they had an agreement before now.
Frank said, is this a personal mission that both of them are planning, or is this really about the welfare of Nigerians? Why is he not comfortable? Why doesn't he care that we want to see what he can do? We want to know what you can do and all of that. Why was that not a priority in that line of thought? Because now he said he wants to serve Nigeria. It's beyond the South, I guess, because
Just like to give us to also put some context, there are constitutionally the ministerial office is an appointment of the president, and so maybe I can even understand why you would say the president will not regret. But if you have lived more than 10 years in Nigeria, you can know the body language and the situations around federal appointments and what it turns out into. All right, so like I said, the former governor is having a very
in Abuja. The former Kano State governor praised his campaign strategy and energy exuded by Odunze, and in order to trounce the All Progressive Congress (APC) and People's Democratic Party, he charged. The Labour Party wasn't mentioned. I find that interesting. So he charged Odunze. Kwankwaso said his campaign strategy used where maybe in Kano State, because he won Kano State. I don't think it's a national thing right now. That is going to help Odunze trounce PDP and the APC. He didn't mention the Labour Party, I noticed. What is this confidence? Where is it coming from? Is it that he seemed to forget that he had his Kwankwasia movement domiciled in Kano State? And which could have given him the edge to win, and of course he's also a stronger political stakeholder in Kano State. Is this enough if really they want to trounce APC and PDP?
Well, let me say this: as a political leader, he has to motivate, let him have a kind of a common ground to ballot his political campaign, because ordinarily, if you look at the spread of NNPP in Nigeria, it's just in Kano. But when you look at Labour has been able to also get even lawmakers in other states outside the shore of Southeast. So for me, what he's saying now is to see how to improve the background of NNPP in the Southeast, because being a political leader also, it will be out of place for him to say, that is a good statement from him, at least to encourage the governorship candidate Odunze to have at least hope that he can win the election. But mind you,
to that call to come out for their party in terms of the Labour Party.
Okay, asking them to come out for the call is a critical conversation, but you see, there are indices. Odunze, about last week or thereabouts, flew through the cargo airport in Imo State, and was heard telling his followers, how insecurity, Uzodinma has abandoned the youth.